I don't normally double dip on drama. Hell, I don't normally put out two videos in the same day. But this Moroccan stampede into Spain is just so fascinating to me. And I've noticed there's a lot of titles to YouTube videos now, which are, I would say, poorly written at the very least. This one by PBS, tens of thousands of migrants enter Spanish territory, then return to Morocco. By Reuters, migrants return to Morocco after crossing the Spain Ceuta. By France 24, thousands start returning to Morocco after mass arrivals. By AFP, hundreds of migrants return to Morocco. By Forbes, thousands of Moroccans return to Morocco. Daily Guardian, migrants return to Morocco. Global News, return to Morocco. AFP agency again, return to Morocco. And by DWS, return to Morocco. It's not until this one by DRM where that's worded a little bit differently, which says Spain returns migrants to Morocco. So this narrative is that the migrants just got bored. Actually, even just calling them migrants is sort of wrong, isn't it? I mean, they weren't actually migrating at all. They weren't going there to live there. At least it doesn't seem to be the case. Some of them say that they were going there for job opportunities or whatever. But, you know, it kind of seems like a teen takeover to me. In fact, I've actually wondered myself if teen takeovers might be some sort of CIA psyop or something, because it seems sort of odd that it only seems to affect black people and only in white countries and nowhere else in the entire world and no other demographic in the entire world. But whatever. The point is that all of these people, young men, just flooded into the country. 60,000, they say, 50 to 60,000 flooded into the country, and then they returned. And that's the way it's worded anyway. By the way, I don't know if DWS and DRM have anything in common besides this thumbnail they've both got for their shorts, but that is rather on the nose, I would think. So anyway, just want to listen to the way this is written by some of these people, because I don't know, it's kind of like telling even the way media is looking at it, that they're just returning to their home, the migrants.
Overwhelming the city, filling the streets, charging the fences, some dropping to their knees in the sand, grateful to reach dry land.
He's not grateful to reach dry land, dude. Morocco's a 99%, over 99% Sunni Islam. I mean, he's praying. That's what he's doing. He's not kissing the ground because he's happy to be on land. He's praying, obviously, right? And that's actually sort of shocked me because I didn't know the exact demographics of Morocco. Obviously, I assumed that it was going to be Islam, but over 99%. Like, how many in America or Canada or Australia or Europe countries are Christian? Like, less than 50 in a lot of them, right? Less than 50%. Over 99%. So it's just like the snap of the finger, and they're basically having an army of people ready to go because their God told them to fight. And that's what I think is the real takeaway from all of this. They had 60,000 people invade the tip of the continent, which happens to be owned by Spain, this enclave that Spain has there. And these people were not really violent. Like, let's be honest, they weren't really violent. There's some violent things that happened. Where is it? They smashed up some fences. Okay, yeah, sure. They I mean, that this is the border fence that they were going around and climbing over before. Now they've just ripped it up out of the ground. So someone's gonna have to repair that, which is gonna suck. I guess the holes are already bored, so it's probably not gonna be too bad. But they've caused damage, right? They've caused damage. They burned some cars and such. So it's not as if they were peaceful exactly. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that it doesn't appear like they went there to conquer the country or anything, right? And as I said in my other video where they were throwing rocks at the Moroccan police and such, or whatever it was, it's certainly, it's just eye-opening, I think. Like, this is what the people of the West want to invite into their country. And some Asian countries are starting to do this a little bit too. And we can see here, like, you can't just stop 60,000 people, not without putting those LMGs or HMGs mounted on top of the Humvees to work, not without putting the Coast Guard to work. I mean, yeah, if you use that, you could stop the invasion pretty easily. But there's a reason why these guards are all holding batons. They're not using guns. They can't use guns, because if they even hold them, they're going to be seen as some sort of heinous thing by the news, by the media, by the left wing especially. It's inappropriate for you to hold guns. I mean, All of these soldiers are lined up, and they've got batons. Yeah, they've got APCs in the background. They've got Humvees. Some of the Humvees have MGs mounted on them, but most of them are just standing around with batons. Look at that. They're soldiers, man. They're supposed to be intimidating, but instead they're just like traffic controllers, ushering the Moroccans back to Spain, back to Morocco. Sorry. And why did they come in the first place? Well, again, like I think it was like basically like a teen takeover, but there is a couple people saying the reason they came over here, just relying on Reuters translation.
To be honest, I don't even know why I've come. I'm heading back now. It's that simple. Let God's will be done.
You spent
Let God's will be done. So, I mean, obviously he's talking about Allah there, but like, what does he even mean? Like he doesn't know why he came and he's leaving. And he just, I mean, is that just like a normal thing to say, let God's will be done? Is it like a Heil sort of thing? You just say it for no reason? You yourself said you don't know why, so you're just attributing it to God? You just invaded another country and you don't know why you did it? And after you've done it, you said, well, let God's will be done. It's God's plan then. 60,000 young people, mostly men, almost entirely men, invaded Spain, and they don't know why they did it, but God's plan. Okay, that's kind of worrying. I mean, again, and look at the way this is worded as well. A rush of more than 50,000 people who crossed the border in one day are now voluntarily returning. Voluntarily returning. I mean, they've got the Coast Guard, they've got the actual militia out there, the army. This isn't voluntary, clearly. They're being forced. Now, some of them, I'm sure, are going back voluntarily because they realized that they did something stupid, I guess. Or maybe the plan was completed and, you know, it's time to retreat, whatever. I don't know exactly. What I do know is that the people who are saying that this is from like smugglers, like human traffickers. You're telling me that human traffickers managed to convince 60,000 Moroccans to give them some money, and then they would smuggle them into Spain. And the plan that these human traffickers had was Zerg Rush? That's the plan? And somehow they got money from 60,000 Moroccans who all agreed to go along with this. The smugglers, they said, okay, here's what you do. You wait until it's daytime and all the cameras are on you. Then you run up to the 20-foot tall fence with razor wire on top of it, and you climb over that fence. Or you swim around in the water for hours on end, and you drown. And you get crushed by people in stampedes. There's like 60 deaths now, something like around there. Which, by the way, is more than all of the ICE deaths that have happened so far over here in the USA. This has all happened instantaneously for whatever reason. And this is exactly what Trump and them are trying to stop. So again, like I wouldn't be surprised if this was even a CIA psyop, because like honestly, like it proves the point, doesn't it? If you can have this go off and there's nothing they can do about it. I mean, yeah, there's water in between Morocco and Spain, but or Africa and Spain, but it's not true of other parts of the world. And once you start congregating everybody into one spot, they can just rush over the border, and then your only option is, well, just to unleash on them, really. You either let them conquer you, or you start firing. And if you start firing, it's all recorded. Then it's posted on the internet, and then people are going to accuse you of being monsters and so on and so forth. And it's like everyone's hands are tied by globalism. They can't do the right thing. I mean, look at this. Like, this is just them leaving. It's like a theme park. It's like they're... it's crazy. It's like Disney World's closing, and so they're all slowly patrolling out of it. But the Prime Minister does have something to say.
Ceuta is a Spanish city, and what happened yesterday deserves our strongest possible rebuke. And
the army didn't have weapons, just to remind everyone. They had batons.
Condemnation. We reject, condemn, and regard as deplorable the violation and attack on the territorial integrity of a Spanish city.
But what does that even mean? Like, I mean, your guards didn't even have weapons, dude. You gave them batons. That's like a newbie weapon. What exactly does this condemnation apply to? These mystical smugglers, the human traffickers?
The journey was not without casualties. There were several drownings, while others were killed in a stampede to cross the breakwater fence at a nearby beach. Some trying to cross say the lure of possible asylum in the European Union drew them.
Most of these people were at work yesterday when suddenly they heard that the border had been opened.
Suddenly. They just suddenly heard the border had been open.
That some young people managed to cross, and so everyone ended up here.
It's just the dinner bell. That's the story now? We've got human traffickers as one of them. Then we've got the dinner bell as one of them. I mean, how many narratives are there? The God's plan. Don't forget God's plan. That's in there too. What are we talking about here? It's 60,000 young people, young men almost entirely, just suddenly invaded another country. I mean, like I said, it's not like they really went there to cause harm. Obviously, a lot of people died. A lot of stuff was destroyed. There was incredible amounts of litter and stuff. I mean, the beach was just absolutely destroyed. It's just like a million inner tubes and flip-flops. I don't know. The flip-flops, man. Also, they came and most of them were just shirtless, right? It's nothing but shorts and flip-flops. And then when they're leaving, somehow they're all clothed, which is odd. I don't know why that's happened. It seems like Spain must have given them all shirts. So, yeah, this area just had 60,000 shirts on standby, whatever. So, I don't know. I mean, what do you think the narrative is?
While it's unclear what triggered the mass influx, Sanchez cast blame on criminal groups and human smugglers, saying they deceive young people and ultimately lead them to their deaths.
Oh, look, actual guns on the Humvees there. So that's Sanchez. Pedro Sanchez is the Prime Minister of Spain. So that's his official stance. Human traffickers and smugglers. Again, how the hell would a human trafficker manage to convince 60,000 people to give them money, even a tiny amount of money? And their advice to these people is, yeah, go climb that giant fence with razor wire in the middle of the day into a first world nation. Well, it was a first world nation anyway. I mean, as of today, I'm not sure it is anymore. And then, and this is all, it's got the army and the Coast Guard. I mean, how is the human trafficker getting paid for that? That doesn't make any sense. 60,000 people are not going to be so dumb as to give them money. And these are all young people as well. Like, they're not that stupid. They're not that desperate. They're not, these aren't people with like a family to take care of or whatever. I mean, like, I'm sure they have families and I'm sure that like the parents or whatever, but you know what I mean when I say that. This isn't like a husband with twins on the way or something and he's going to do whatever it takes to keep his family safe and to get them somewhere better. This is people basically just having a fun time and rioting. That's what it is. It's a riot. It's an intercontinental riot. And it's being called human trafficking and smuggling. Nah, I mean, maybe it's an exaggeration to call it an invasion as well, because I don't feel like they actually planned to really conquer Spain. I mean, that's the way I said it in the previous video, but that was just to make a point of how easy this is for it to happen. And the leftists insists that it will never happen, that it's impossible for it to happen, that everyone's just friends with each other, globalism and such like that. So I wasn't being literal when I was saying that Spain was conquered. That was just an exaggeration. But these guys, they basically had an intercontinental riot. And the result of that is it's a lot of property damage and a really bad look for Spain. Really, really bad look for Sanchez. Some international drama with the other nations in Europe. Trump's going to use this, of course, for the midterms to talk about border control and safety and stuff. And that's going to be a really, really powerful weapon for him, I'm sure. It's just wacky, though, these excuses that people are using. It's a teen takeover, guys. That's what this is. It's basically a teen takeover. It's an international teen takeover with 60,000 people. Oh, God, look at that. Look at that. I mean, like I said, there is a lot of property damage. Those buses are not cheap. That van's probably not cheap either. I mean, this is it's certainly a big problem. That's a kid. That's like a 15-year-old. Like, and the other ones seem to be too. But I just wanted to make another video to point out that people are trying to like downplay this in certain ways, which is really weird. And then basically, I just wanted to say that it's obviously not human trafficking. This is very clearly orchestrated by somebody intentionally for some purpose, probably just to point out, hopefully to point out, because my point is that it's very easy for these things to happen, and they can happen very quickly, and you'll never even know it. It'll be too late by the time it starts if you're not prepared for it, which obviously they weren't. And, the left, in the USA, we don't have to worry about this exactly, not to such an extent. I mean, they come over from New Mexico and they're in Texas, or maybe they make it to Louisiana or something. Like, they're screwed either way, right? Like, they're not getting very far going through Texas and Louisiana, especially not in the middle of the summer. But in Europe, this is a much bigger issue, and they just seem to think that it's no big deal. And, well, hopefully they're never proven wrong, because if they were, then that would basically be their country effectively being conquered, and the only way they'd be able to get it back would be with, just basically with genocide. I mean, it would be warranted, I guess, but they'd still end up getting a lot of flack for it, so hopefully it never comes to that. But that's all I wanted to say. People need to open their eyes. They need to tear the scales from their eyes and actually see the world for what it is. It's not just a happy, fun place. Sometimes crazy things happen. A lot of people died during this. Most of them, if not all of them, were Moroccans trying to make their way into Spain. And the point of it was just an international teen takeover, an international riot for funsies. That's all it was, as far as I can tell, anyway. And yet, well, it was orchestrated, obviously, but I think a lot of the people did it just for funsies, rather than, like, it's not like they were all in on some spy ring or something. And the result of that is a lot of people died. And yeah, you can't put anything past stupid people, is what I'm trying to say. And I guess that counts for the leftists too. Like, I know not a lot of people are going to change their political opinions over something like this. They'll just hang on to it tooth and nail until it's too late for them to change their mind. Hopefully some at least see this and think, holy shit, yeah, border control is important. Anyway, that's all I want to say. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please do the YouTube things. Bye-bye.